Hey guys, in today's video, we'll be breaking down how to get soft first touches with the ball, such as wheel touches that can drop the ball kind of down to the ground yourself or in the air, and a little bit about the Zen Touch at the end if you guys are familiar with that. I'll be walking you through how to use this to kind of outplay your opponents and use space effectively when you see it on the field, by positioning your car in a certain way around the ball to, kind of control it, slow it down. There's certain ways to do that, even in some pretty kind of awkward spots. My name is Torment, a world champion with years of competing at the highest level in RLCS, and let's get into it. Yeah, I honestly think these touches are fun and they're super valuable. Specifically, I want to say once you get into the GC area, right, this kind of beat will probably first off just get you a lot of success if you're good at getting this first touch and beat. And the pack is called Super Glue. Obviously, it's basically a first touch pack, but this kind of touch, like it kind of looks like you're gluing the ball to your car if you do it properly in the air, where you like get this wheel touch and yeah, you can do something like that. Obviously, that is the aerial version, right? There's a ground version, which I think is kind of where you should start if you're not comfortable with doing it already, where you knock the ball down to yourself and then you land and then you shoot, or whatever you want to do from the ground. It depends where you are. Sometimes you want to, drop it down and go for like a dribble. You can do this. It's very effective when, like, say you see a defender playing your heavy touch because you're in the air early, and then now you drop to the ground and they're like, giving you space now magically. And that is the first one's basically just super simple. It's straight on. They will get harder for sure. Shot two. I skipped it it's from the side. This one you could obviously you want to just air roll touch it and drop it down. You could do like a dead jump where you jump back down. Obviously it's not really necessary, but it could help you get some speed going back down, some adjustment. Couple things to note when you're doing this, and again, these are written in the guide, but you kind of want to be air rolling when you touch the ball, right? Because if not, you might like get like a dead touch with your wheels like that. Like you see on my car almost like bounce back slightly. You want to be air rolling kind of like away to and continue your air roll to like how you want to land. For example, like right here, I want to land, rotate my car and face the goal, right? Or like somewhat. Obviously it's not perfect, but like. And this one I'm actually not hitting with my wheels, but it's going so slow that you might not need to, right? You see how like that one's really light. So that one's probably better. Technically it's going so slow you could just hit it with the top of your car, and it's honestly not like a bad touch, but like you get the super gluey touch, it's like front two wheels essentially. And you could also bring it sidewall if you want. Third one in the corner, this is a very common place to do it. And a lot of people will wait for your touches in the corner, right? If you're just going to hit it heavy. So you just keep it near. It's obviously easier to land. Big thing to note, you obviously want the ball to go in front of you. So now what I just did there. And you want to make sure you can land. And you want to be air rolling through it. Right? Those are kind of the main concepts. It's very similar to like if you see my wall stops one or my backboard catch and follow. A lot of the same ideas apply, but now you're just doing it on the ground. And you have to ensure this wheel touch or else it'll get away from you. You could technically flip like that and maybe like get like still a light enough touch. If you need to like speed up, see how I'm like flipping, technically that works near the wall and in your corner, mostly in your corner, because you can kind of bounce it to yourself. Also worth noting, you don't need to go for goal in these packs. You can, but you just want to practice the mech over and over. You can just keep resetting, especially those ones that are in your corner. All right, here's one off the bounce, and this one's like pretty different, right? You kind of need to get over the top of the ball, and this is another thing I should kind of describe, right? Is you're almost like the direction the ball is coming at your car, right? For example, this ball is bouncing and going back up into my car, so I actually want to get over the top of it, like almost like exactly the opposite direction of where it's traveling from. And I'll be able to show this in another example, like a little later, how that works for balls that are really high. But this one, like for the balls coming from under me, so I get over the top of it, hit it with my wheels, I'm like knocking it down like a wall basically. And then you go for the shot. And you don't want to be going too fast, but you don't want to like, some people like stay in place. For example, like aerial ones, they'll like hover. You kind of want to go directly at the ball, but then like kind of air roll back, and you don't want to be going too fast, right? If I'm like going full speed at this ball and I try to wheel touch it, it gets a little heavier. I could still do it maybe, but kind of depends what you want. I would say like speed up to where you need to be, then like try to slow down a little bit. You can even brake a little bit if you're going too fast, and slow down a bit into your touch. Here's another one. It's off the sidewall. This one you kind of not have to go in the air, but it makes more sense. You could technically go here. Maybe there's a guy on the wall and you just want to beat him and you do that. And then just make sure you're landing and shooting or whatever you want to do. But yeah, you can practice the midair, and I guess we'll start talking about the midair one more because it's a little harder. Obviously now you want to hit the ball in the air, so you need to be under it more. You can't really do that same thing when you're knocking it down. But yeah, that one you just have to kind of like be slow enough, like you're almost matching the speed of the ball or the speed of your touch. Hitting with your wheels, making sure your nose stays up in the air. That's also important because you'll just like lose all your height if you do it wrong. Here's when you're coming from the side. Here's one where I talk about where I've seen people like they'll like hover in the air like this, and it's like kind of unnatural. You kind of want to go at the ball and then get that touch like that. That was actually a really good one. And yeah, it's really just about that certain part of your car. You could technically always do it with the top of your car too, and we'll get into that. And it's also in the guide. It's called the Zen Touch. It's like the last shot is specifically for this. If you're going like slow enough, you could do it with the top of your car too. But that one mostly for the wheel touch. I would still mainly focus on the wheel touch. Here we have over our net, kind of a backboard wall stop. Again, there is a pack specifically for this where I talk about it. But it's in here because it's basically the same idea where you're hitting with your wheels. I'm actually not doing it right at all. There you go, that's better. Just so it's light enough. Honestly, ideally, you want to hit it so you can land and catch it. Not like what I'm doing. It's like that. And if the touch is light enough, obviously it's like floating enough. Yeah, like that. That's exactly what I meant. That's kind of exactly what I want you to do right there. Obviously, it won't always go perfect. And the ones I was doing, like, they weren't bad, and you could still kind of salvage them. But, you know, for the most part, that last one was perfect for what I want you guys to do. Here's one you could technically take on the ground, right? Knock it down, wheel touch, shoot. Definitely a good one you can keep in the air and stay on. And get like a reset kind of thing. And it's basically just, again, hitting it with the front two wheels. Actually, it's got a double reset. Okay, you can hold it. This one, low to the ground. Obviously, you can't air dribble. You have to knock it down. What I do for this one, at least, is I'll do a full spin because I'm an arrow right player, and then I'll just like make sure I spin into my landing. You could technically just like, you know, actually, I think that's kind of how you have to do it. I mean, you honestly hit it with the top of your car, and as long as you're going slow enough, it's like a light touch. And that's the idea there. Here's off the corner. This one's definitely bring it to the ground. And now, see how the ball's coming from above me? I get under it a little bit, actually. And you can almost like hit it up, but it goes so slow, obviously it just drops, right? Like that. Like you're basically hitting it high. Like you're hitting it like you would if you if I went into straight into this ball and I hit it like that, it would lob in the air. Since I'm going slower, I'm leaning my car back. It like basically just deadens the ball entirely. Shot 11. I think I'm supposed to go on the wall. Unfortunately, packs don't let you start from the wall, right? You have to start from the ground, so that's kind of why. This one, I'm pretty sure I want you to go on the wall. Drop it down. I'm kind of messing it up. Arrow like that. And then just like, yeah, just try to shoot. I missed, but you get the idea. Now here's the one I was talking about where you actually, it's that same idea where I'm actually going to be completely under the ball, but like getting that touch where it goes like for me, right? Because you see how the ball's coming from straight above me. It's going straight down in my car. So my contact point, if I go above it, it actually doesn't go well. You deaden it by being directly behind where the ball's coming from. Right, so it's coming from up, I'm under it, completely under it. And you see how like it doesn't make, or it makes sense, but like you might not think, like people might not think of it that way. Where like to drop the ball, why would you want to be under it? But that's just how it works in this game. That's how you get those dead touches where you're coming from the exact opposite direction of the ball. At least in that case, right? Obviously, sometimes like this one, you're coming from the side. Even then, like it's coming from my left. You see how I'm hitting it on the right side of the ball now? Like if I go to the left of it and try to hit it, it's just gonna pass, right? So I get to the right of the ball. This one's obviously requires like a good sidewall read. You get to the right of the ball, obviously maybe a little bit to the side of it, yeah, and you get that touch. Not great, those aren't great touches, but you get the idea. This one you hit off the bounce. So now since it's off the bounce, it's bouncing up. I actually get over it a little bit, and now when you can save your wave dash like that too. If you're low to the ground, you could technically just wave dash after, and you see how like, you know, get my speed back up. Even though the touch is a little bit heavy, I can follow it. 15, this is definitely one for the air. And again, contact point under it because I'm trying to pop it. And yeah, that's kind of why those, for example, as well, the high lobbing balls that are arcing in the air, those are why those are the best for these type of touches, because I can get under the ball and it's traveling into my car, right? Like I'm straight behind and under it, basically. And again, just hit it with my wheels. I'm going at the ball, but not too fast. Again, I try to slow down when I'm making contact. I get up here. I'm not boosting through it. I mean, you can, but it's harder. And you see how it just actually gets that touch, but it flies. And now that's where the Zen Touch comes in. Like I'll show you. Okay, I just did it right there. I'll show you in shot 20. For some reason, you could just go full speed in the ball, and as long as you're air rolling away from it and hitting it with the top of your car, like from like under it, you get like the perfect touch. And shot 20 is like exactly the example. I just did it. That one's kind of it, but I just did it on the other one that I showed, where I'm basically not slowing down in the air at all. And for that touch, you can do that. For the wheel touch, you really can't. It's very hard. And I'm not sure why that is. Again, it's just the game. Backboard read. Definitely one that's a little harder. Gotta get under it. This one probably go for it. Since I'm so close to the net, I'll go for a double. It's kind of hard to get a shot there. That's any good. Here's one off the backboard. Obviously, in game, you would only do this if you're playing a beat. It's kind of situational, right? Like if there was no one here, you would just pass out to a teammate, or you just like even catch it. Like you could technically just catch this, right? But in game, say someone's challenging you, you go for the beat, you get the catch. You can start an immediate play on the opponent's net and hit the ground. Here's from a redirect situation. Maybe they're playing my shot and I take a touch and then I play my beat after. Again, it's coming from my left. I'm getting to the right of it. Obviously, how far right of it is where you want to. You also need to line it up with the net somewhat, but same idea. Another one over the backboard. This one's a little faster. Not doing it great. Obviously, I'm air roll right, so that's why I'm air rolling this way. There we go. Just being able to follow it. Obviously, ideally you can catch it, but shot 20. This one's I'm a little worried for. I did just do it on shot 15, but this one's hard where you have to get. It's called the Zen Touch. Again, if you look at my first touch guide, there is a video link of Zen doing it, and also that walkthrough has me doing it probably on like the third try. I think. Again, I probably could do it one of every like 4 to 5 tries maybe, and I don't really do it in game ever. So this one's super advanced. Obviously, you could also just practice your touch here. You could just do this, right, if you really want to. But I made it for this shot, where you go at it, you air roll. Okay, we did it first try. I was too high on it. I gotta get under it more, but that's the touch, where you see I'm like air rolling straight at the ball, full speed, and it just kills. And again, it's not gonna work perfectly every time. I'm not under it enough. I'm doing it, but I'm not under it enough. There we go. That one wasn't on line with the net. Obviously, there's a lot of factors. Okay, I'm actually doing it more consistently than I thought. I might be slowing down a little bit, don't get me wrong, but you can just like pretty much go full speed into it, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, like it's actually insane. Like, what is this touch, right? I don't really know how it works. I really don't know why it works. It doesn't make sense. But for some reason, if you're air rolling, first off, you have to hit it with the top of your hood. Kind of like where your windshield is almost. And making sure you're tilted like back, right? You see how I'm like, my car is almost at like a 45-degree angle, like facing my own net, basically, or away from the ball. And then I'm kind of air rolling as I hit it, right? And I'm continuing my air roll. I'm keeping my nose facing up, so when it hits it in front of me, obviously I want to make sure it pops up. And if you do mess it up, like you can still get a touch like that. It's not even bad. But yeah, now I'm not getting it consistently. I used up my 1 of 5 in the first 5. There we go. Obviously that one's also a little low, so I wasn't able to like follow it very well. But yeah, this one's just fun to practice. Again, very high level. I wouldn't even practice this unless you're really comfortable with the other one. But you'll see a lot more pros do this more often. We'll end it on this one because that was a good one, even though I didn't score. And yeah, I would definitely wait for that one. Make sure you have the other one down. Make sure, obviously, there's more important mechanics to practice. Don't get me wrong. I think you'd only want to do this. Like, again, this is like something most pros don't do. And the reason I call it the Zen Touch is he's one of the only pros I've seen actually use it and score. And again, if you want to see how he scored in game, there is a video example in the in my first touch guide in the resources channel. So if you want to see that, there's a video of that. And other than that, good luck with this, and let me know if you have any questions, further questions about this.